Alrighty. All right, I'm going kind of old school on this. I don't know. Man, just no script, no real topics, no ideas really. Just kind of going and talking, firing a stream, kind of like what I used to do. I suppose could go over the things we talked about over the week. Makes sense. So I recently started talking about Alex S. Johnson, which is a topic I need to be careful with because I can't handle that the same way like I would like a YouTuber or a YouTube, drama stuff. No, it involves people on Facebook, on social media, and it involves people that aren't in the public sphere. They're writers, and it's a different dynamic. And really, the guy, Alex, he does have a pattern of behavior that's quite concerning. And there's people who are our targets. I was gonna say we're targets because it seems like his behavior has kind of died down a bit, but any moment it could happen again. And you got to be careful with that. And I'll say, with my experience in the horror writing community, is that's interesting, man. Like, that is the one sphere where I actually got more trolls and more kind of weird things, like shenanigans and stuff happening, than doing the YouTube stuff, right? And the worst thing that happened when the YouTube stuff is the Thorps called the police because I made a joke. I was going to show Ben how to use a pick hoe, not a pickaxe, but a pick hoe, and he considered that to be like a threat. Okay, whatever. And and you guys know the story. They called my parents. Rhode Island police called my parents. I live in Texas, looking for me. So that was a whole thing. And in the writing sphere, I had a guy, unprovoked. I thought, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I rejected one of his stories or what. But next thing I know, I'm getting sent images of my kid, my son, who was maybe 2 at the time, and with a bunch of penises drawn all over. Looking at it now, it's kind of funny. But in the moment, it was not funny. In the moment, I was like, what is this? This is bizarre. What's going on here? And then I was like, oh, man. Well, I know I can block and maneuver this and make sure it doesn't happen again. I'm going to have to explain it to my wife, who's going to be like, what? And so that creates a whole other thing, right? So what I'm saying is I got to be careful with this. And I know that there are people, I'm not saying Alex is one of them, but I think he is, from what I've seen. I mean, he definitely has done this sort of stuff in the past. What I mean is involve real life elements, not just social media posts, but go to the level of contacting various groups and various people that may have connections or whatever. He may perceive that they have connections or whatever. I'll call the FBI, things like that. Go way overboard on what he, I guess from his perspective would be that he sees himself as a victim. So, he wants to do all these things to get back at people, when really it's he should just learn to let it go, learn to move on, and all that. What I'm saying is it involves a world, it involves real people. Okay, it's not YouTube drama. You'll have to treat it differently, and I will treat it differently. As you've seen, the first video, I had, I thought about it, and had to blur out the faces. And moving forward, the names will not be mentioned unless they want to be mentioned. So, yeah. And the guy, Alex, like I said, he was a guest before on the Deadman's Tone podcast, and he had reached out to me a couple weeks ago, wanting to like talk to me about something. He wanted to do an interview, and I don't really do that anymore. You know, I'm out of the horror stuff. So I told him no. I don't really do that anymore. But it intrigued me. It had me a little curious as to what's happening. Like, why would he, out of the blue, reach out to me and like act like there was a pressing thing happening? And I remembered who Alex was and the details around him. I'm going to say this, and Alex, if you listen to this, I don't mean this in any bad way, but, you know, there's some mental illness. It is not all there in the head. And I think he would admit that. I know he made posts on social media about that. So I'm not talking out of school. I'm not saying anything that would be, you know, any sort of like issue. What I'm saying is I'm not making anything public that he hasn't already made public. So it had me curious as to what's happening. And whenever I go on Facebook, I rarely go on Facebook really, but when I do, it's pretty much my old acquaintances and colleagues. Some of them probably have forgotten about me and all that, and I understand why. I kind of moved away from that sphere. I'm not really involved in that anymore. I kind of chime in every once in a while when someone has a funny post and stuff, but that's about it. You know, I don't have a platform for it anymore. Like, what am I going to do? Bring on horror authors to interview them and then have them react to baby metal? That's actually a good idea. That's actually not a bad idea. Wait a second. You react to certain bands, certain groups, you're going to get the clicks, going to get the views. These authors want their stuff to be seen. That's not a bad idea. There's a recipe there that probably could do that. Probably could on the reaction channel bring them on, interview them, but also be like, because I have already reacted to everything like Baby Metal, Love Bites, The Warning, the stuff I do on the reaction channel. I've already reacted to just about everything. Now I'm like, I need to get other people on here and have them react to it. That's where it's at. Yeah. That's where it's at there. Hey, lolcow Kings. lolcow Kings. Oh wait, what's going on? I guess lolcow Kings. I'm not sure who lolcow Kings is. Is that a real lolcow channel? Is that a Keemstar approved lolcow channel, or is that like a side? I don't know. I don't know anymore. Oh, who's the Asian chick? I used the Asian chick thumbnail as a callback to what I used to do. What I used to do was put on just it is what it is. Put up a thumbnail of, well, a very attractive lady. Okay, you know what that is for? It's for easy clicks. Okay, and I did that because it's like, well, I don't know really what I'm going to get into. It's going to be off the cuff, whatever. I have a general idea, but not really, and things can go, and we'll just talk. We'll just interact and talk and all that, and that's what it's really going to be. And so that's what I'll do. It is a bit lazy, sure, yeah, but it's also like, guys, I got other things to do too. I'm not a full-time streamer. I'm a full-time employed, full-time dad. My trolls were like that. Full-time dad, what does that mean? Is the wife out of the picture? Yes, the wife is out of the picture, 100%. I got the house. I got the kids. I got the money. I won. I got that quote from Ben. I got that quote from Ben Thorp, which is rich because he doesn't have the house. He doesn't have the kids. He doesn't have the money. And he lives in an RV. Well, actually, now they're kind of in a studio. They do have that like side studio that they rent and stuff. And here's the thing, guys. If you came here because of Alex Johnson, keep in mind I do talk about a bunch of stuff. So if I mention names you're not familiar with, it's all stuff I talk about here on this channel. The Thorps are an interesting family. Now, when I cover them the way you cover other YouTubers, other YouTube drama. It gets pretty deep. It gets pretty greasy. All right? I don't have a lot of respect for them, so gloves are off, okay? Hey, they call the police on me over a joke. Gloves are off, okay? I'm not calling the cops on them. I don't care. I don't care what they do. I'm not that sort of guy. All right? I'm not a hall monitor, okay? I'm not going to report people for saying things or whatever towards me. I don't really care. To me, it's just internet and whatever. That's my approach on it. I can easily just ignore whatever. Just leave the message, without a reply. That's fine. So yeah, the Alex S. Johnson stuff. I do see a few more videos coming out with that, but I want to. Like it's going to continue to be a different approach. But it might just be one more video, and I might talk to people who are willing to talk to me about it, who want to say some stuff, if they want to, of course, or someone who is interested. Like I said, not saying names or anything. I do know that Alex is going to reach out to me. I'm pretty sure. I'm sure he is. And I mean, why would he not? Right? And would I talk to him? Well, some people may have a problem with this part, but I do believe in giving people a if I'm going to talk about someone, I should talk to them too. Right? That's only fair. So I will. But I need to be more informed on what he has done to people, all this stuff, and get all this stuff. And I have received a lot of information and stuff, and thanks for that. Oh yeah, it was a lot to read through, a lot to go through. It's like, oh man, I'm doing. It kind of reminded me of like doing CPS casework. I was like, man, I need to be clocked in for this. Am I getting paid for this? Not really. Some people will be like, oh, you get paid through YouTube views. A view is worth what? A fraction of a cent? Okay. But with that said, I do appreciate a review. I do appreciate you guys too. So, and also let me know, what are some things you guys want to chime in on? Or some things that popped up over the week that you want me to get into as well? Have a nice smile. Thank you, Star Shine. Thank you for that. There you go. Still have my teeth. Amazing. Last time I've been to the dentist, been like since COVID. Since COVID. My kids have been to the dentist more than I have. They went last year, actually. Went last year. Wait in the lobby for a little bit. Put on Little Rascals because in the dentist lobby they have like you can watch stuff now. It's better. It's improved. And I was like, you put on Little Rascals. I was showing the kids that, and be like, man, kids, you haven't seen this movie? I'm a horrible parent. I haven't shown you Little Rascals. You don't know about this? My daughter was like, Alfalfa is so ugly. Like, Alfalfa is he's a charmer, man. The He-Man Woman Haters Club. I love that stuff. Yeah, it's so funny. Anyway. I don't know how long this stream's going to be. It'll be at least an hour. After this, I do have some reactions I need to do for the other channel. A whole list of reactions. Been not slacking because the time has been spent on doing stuff for that channel, like live streams and stuff too. So it's just a lot kind of going on, which is fine. I like to be busy. Oh, speaking of the Thorps, Ben Thorp and all that, Ben and Grace, I did catch their their misunderstood stream, I did catch that where they were talking to what's his name, Chaos Chill or no, that's not it. Is that his name? I think so. Chaos Force. Chill Force. Chill Force. I don't know why I was thinking Chaos, but Chill Force, who kind of like looks like Dr. Robotnik to me. Or some, you know what? Maybe I could put that on the screen so you can have a visual of what I'm talking about. That would be nice, huh? So, in case you don't know, you probably do, maybe. But Ben and Grace, they have changed the lolcow rejects to, they rebranded it to Misunderstood. Which, if you search Misunderstood Grace, it doesn't even come up. Here, let me put this on the screen here. I'm trying to find their channel. Like, if I'm trying to find, like, Misunderstood and I type in Grace, it doesn't come up. Right? When you change your channel name, it takes a while for that to actually register. So if I type in lolcow rejects, yeah, I do type slow. I'm wearing glasses inside in a dark room. All right, Misunderstood. There we go. They had a live stream. I think it was the deep dive. This would. I think it was this what I say it was.
Insecure about it, but
yeah. Okay. Hey, there we have a lot of interesting characters there, and interesting indeed. You have Ben in the denim jacket, Grace kind of like in his shadow. That's kind of how she is at times. You have Chill Force, who does look like he's the bald dude. Okay, if I have a better freeze frame of him. There you go. He kind of, when I first saw him, he looked kind of like a reject of Kane from Command & Conquer. I love those games. I love the campy lore of those games. Command & Conquer, man. It looked like that. I was like, is that Kane? Is that a weird reject of like Dr. Robotnik? What's going on here? But I gotta say, it was a pretty chill conversation, pretty cool to listen to. I'll give props, I'll give respect where respect is due. And it was kind of interesting to glean some information about Keem and how he does things. That was very cool. But the thing that really intrigued me, though, and let me say, the stream was, for the most part, better when Ben was not there. It was most of it was Grace just talking to Chill Force, and they're kind of going over material, which was kind of cool. It was like kind of like background noise while I was playing. Lately, the game I've been playing is Age of Empires 2. I don't know why. I know why. Because it was on Game Pass. It was on Xbox, and I got that. I was like, how do you play an RTS on an Xbox? That doesn't make any sense. I started playing around with it. It's like, oh, it plays okay, actually. It plays okay. Huh. Anyway. But I found it to be a cool, chill conversation. Very interesting. When Ben got on, it did kind of disrupt things a little bit. Yeah, a little bit is kind of an understatement. Because when Ben got on, he wanted to, like, the wild thing here is he wanted to talk to Chill Force about him possibly taking over Misunderstood, which I don't understand. Ben and Grace have a good thing here. Misunderstood, or lolcow rejects, for what it is the most profitable thing Ben and Grace have done on YouTube. And they need the money because they depend on it. They live off of it. You know, it's not like someone with a full-time job and all that stuff just doing this on the side, whatever. No, they need that money. So I don't know why he would want to just change it like that, right? I think that's the most reasonable response be like, why? Like, why are you doing this? But if you understood a little bit more about Ben Thorp, in which that would take a lot of that might take some time to watch a lot of the streams and stuff, you know. But what I could tell you, being someone who had seen all that stuff, who'd been following the Thorps for pretty much since the beginning, Ben Thorp goes through these patterns where he seems, I'm gonna say seems to have like these patterns where he gets into like an episode, a manic episode, where he kind of changes things. He gets kind of bored of stuff, and it's like it doesn't really excite him, doesn't hold his interest anymore. So he wants to do something completely different, and he will do that from time to time. There's a pattern of that with even his own life stuff, real life stuff, with his previous job, previous businesses and stuff. But here he totally wants to shift gears, change it all up, and give misunderstood the chill force. Now, I mean, chill force listened, and he was like, really, this is your guys' thing. Like, this is what you guys do right now. This is it for you guys at the moment. So you guys should stay with this. You should stick with this. And Ben was saying that, but it's not really his thing. He doesn't really feel like talking about lolcows, like only use me blades and getting into like, I didn't mention Gothic King Cobra or any. I think they might have, but like looking into those guys, talking about those guys, it doesn't really interest Ben. So he doesn't really want to do it, and he kind of is putting that on Grace, like it doesn't really interest you though, right? And Grace is like, well, I mean, it kind of, sort of, but even Grace was like, we got to do this. Like this is working. We're building something here. And we're not really in a place to like give it to someone else. But so what's going to happen with this? I don't really know. Knowing previous patterns of Ben and Grace, when Ben gets like this and Grace kind of argues with him, it tends to go Ben's way. It tends to go his way. It would be absolutely ridiculous for Ben to flip out and lash out at Grace like he's done in the past, like do like physical corrective action. He's done that in the past. He'll say that, man. He has said that before. What I'm saying here, I'm not saying anything that he hasn't said himself. Okay, I'm not saying anything that he hasn't shown himself. Okay. He has done that stuff before. Okay, there's a video of Ben flat out kicking Grace. Now he says it was a nudge and all that, but it was not a nudge. And of course, Grace will defend that because Grace has this attachment to her dad that she has to protect him, no matter what. No matter what. What I'm saying is, it is the possibility that something disruptive could be coming. Is on the horizon. And let me say this too. Like I will say there's a level of grief that you get into when you talk about this stuff. But what I'm saying is I don't want that to happen for them. At least for Grace. Because I do want them to have something that way they can have something there, right? But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I'll say during the stream, I almost forgot when Grace and Chillforce were just talking. I almost forgot about Grace's dirty laundry. If Grace could just keep that up and really just have the focus be on her and her interviewing people, she's good at interviewing. Like it was a pretty chill interview. I was like, okay, this is good. I'm liking this. But Ben was not there. Ben likes being there. Lately, the chat has been telling Ben to leave. They're trying to make it like a thing where you could pay to have Ben leave and pay to have Ben come back and stuff. You know, they're in a they have entered a realm, an area that knowing Ben, knowing what I know of him, that's not going to last for long. It probably won't, man. But this is their bread and butter. Like they need the money to live off of, right? So hopefully this time Grace could stand up to her dad and be like, "No, we got to do this. We got to stick with this. You know, this is working. Let's make it work." And Ben, if you hear this, this is working. Misunderstood is working for you guys. Lolcow Rejects is working, but you rebranded it. It's now Misunderstood. You could, if you listen to what chillforce said, you could reach out to other people and bring them on and talk to them and interview them and stuff. It would be kind of interesting. You might have the ability to do that. Okay, if someone like Grace were to reach out to Blades or Gothic King Cobra or other locals, I'm drawing a blank right now. Just pull up a Kiwi Farms thread and the names on there. And they could do that sort of thing, because I don't think those characters would even be concerned about their dirty laundry. I don't think they would be. One thing I've learned as of late from how Misunderstood is growing is that people don't really care. You know, there's people like me, and I'm kind of like I am anti-Thorp, though right now I am saying a lot of things. It may be perceived as glazing. It's not really glazing, but I understand people could perceive it like that. You know, if you look at it black and white and be like, you know, it's he's saying positive things. Okay, I'm just being honest here. I'm speaking truth. Okay. But there's people like me who do that, and then there's people that like may go even harder at them, you know, and expose even more, which. I mean, I will in time. Don't get it twisted. There will be some streams or some videos every now and then, of course, be like, oh, that's funny. Ben said this. Oh, Ben has said this in the past, though. You know, kind of like what I did recently. I like Grace and Ben were flipping out at what Lolcow Live for using Becky, who's the host or co-host of Lolcow Queens, using the essay, using the raking allegation as content. Now, I'm a product of the 90s, okay? I'm a product of the 90s. I remember Jerry Springer. On Jerry Springer, they would bring up all sorts of people, and they would have all sorts of crazy, wild conversations for entertainment. And some of that did include rake allegations, okay? Some of that did include that. Is it greasy? Yeah. Is it grimy? Yes. But was it not like, so what I'm saying is, like, I see why people would be like, use like in a controlled environment, that sort of content, if you made it controlled and all that. I'm not saying it's good to do. You know, I'm just saying it has happened before and people were widely entertained by it. But the other thing is, Grace and Ben, they have their laundry, right? They have their dirty laundry that they put out there because it was Ben's idea to put the family on the internet. And they have videos of Grace pulling the mom's hair, yanking her out of the chair. That's not a bit. They have videos of Ben kicking Grace, and that's not a bit. They have videos of Ben talking about some insane things, using some miscalculated words over and over again and doubling down on it about what he views. I don't want to go down deep because it's disgusting, but you know, they're not. One thing is, it's very interesting to me that Ben and Grace would flip out and go after Lolcow Queens about that raking allegations of using that for content when they themselves put their family drama and all the stuff that involved real life marital destruction, family just imploding on itself, with the dad lashing out at people, attacking people, Grace doing stuff like that too. And it's like, it is messy. It is so messy. And honestly, guys, the reason why Grace would do that, Grace and Ben would go after lolcow queens like that, it's just what Darvo tactics, okay? Like, they know that they have done stuff like that before in the past. They know that they would do stuff that's not beneath them, okay? But they know it's an opportunity to, we could paint ourselves in a better light, make ourselves look better, and make queens look horrible. And, of course, people will eat it up because people don't really know. And I kind of think people don't really care. It's just kind of like in the moment, you know? Like, the attention span of chat, and no offense to chat right now, is kind of short, you know? Like people are just kind of living in the moment. We often forget about all the stuff that's happened in the past, but in the moment, this is the drama, and this is the thing that's happening. Okay. So in the moment, it makes sense, and in the moment, they definitely got a win there. And lolcow queens put themselves in a situation where if Keem wanted to, he could go full out and become like Jerry Springer of the internet. But, you know, the way he handled Grace told me and told you guys, if you guys followed that stuff, the whole Keemstar, Grace Thorp, lolcow Live, lolcow Queens drama stuff, you know, the way how Keem didn't really want to work with Grace because Ben was going to be there. And it was making like Ben has to be separated. Keem knew that Grace is a lolcow, and Grace had all this dirty laundry and stuff. And he was capitalizing on it. Keem himself made lots of streams, lots of money off of going over their drama and very, in a lot of detail for entertainment's sake, in a way that Jerry Springer would a family that's in ruins, right? Use their drama for content and money and all that stuff. But then when it comes time to actually working with Grace, he gets pushed back from chat saying it's too much. King just doesn't have the spine. He doesn't have the balls to be full Jerry Springer of the internet. So why then have a show, an episode that's like essay stuff, raking stuff, whatever? It's like, if you're going to have that, you might as well just have the deal with Grace like work out. Like, it's like he's not, the kitchen's getting too hot at times for him, and he has to get out. The cook has to get out of the kitchen at times because it's getting a little too hot and he can't stand it. Anyway, what do you guys said? Oh, yeah, that is true too. What I saw some of your stuff at DJ Egg Picker. That Richie was roped into it, yeah, and that's bad too. So like, if you were to do that and make it entertainment, like in a Jerry Springer way, you would want everyone to be informed as what is happening. And for those who don't know, like, a lot of the stuff on Jerry Springer was scripted too, in a sense. Like, they kind of had an idea. There's this big thing that happened. It's been a long time, and I'm sure you could find some YouTube videos to talk about it in great detail. But there was this crazy incident that happened where it was not scripted. Someone did not really know what was happening, and he flipped out. He flipped out, and it did not go the way it should have, and bad things happened for sure. But if you're going to do that, you want everyone involved to be like, okay, this is what's happening. We're going to keep it contained here and all that. But the thing is, too, with that sort of like Jerry Springer-esque content on the internet, it's different now, right? The damage to your reputation, it's not just localized, you know? It's not like, oh, you get roped into some sort of rake allegation thing for entertainment and it just stays there. I mean, if that's what it was, if it's that contained, okay. It's still, like I said, greasy and grimy and all that stuff. But, you know, you don't have to worry about real life destruction, consequences. But on the internet, you have viewers, you have people in the chat, and then you have people in the chat go to various forums and various discords, and someone might feel inclined to do something, call someone, call advertisers and things like that. And it can get messy, right? Because we now are in a time where like you could contact someone's boss or, their business, their family, like just a couple clicks away, it's, which is the sucky thing about the way things are now. We're all kind of connected in a way that's like, well, it makes it where people who don't know that it's just meant for shock jock will take it like will perceive the event that it was for real. Now, in this case, what Becky did was very horrible in the sense that, it reminds a lot of us of all those false rape allegations that kept on popping up left and right during the Me Too movement and all that stuff. And then the lives were ruined, right? Lives of men, several men were ruined because of that. And have that come up like that, just like that, so blazing. It kind of shows you who Becky is. Becky is definitely very messy. But don't get it twisted. Grace and Ben, at any moment, they'll clutch their pearls too. They'll call the police on people. It wasn't too long ago. It was last year where Ben and Grace went to the FBI headquarters to report the trolls. Who are the trolls? Destiny. Shamu. Not me. I'm like way too low on the radar. Okay. They don't even care. It's fine. But they will do that. They will do that. They will make content out of that, which is like, okay. So people are talking about you and what you've done, using the clips of you that you put out there on the streams and all that stuff, and the conversation in Discord and all that stuff. Yeah. Crazy. Past actions don't come to present. Let's see. What else did he say here? Oh, Keemstar has also said the N-word and prank call. Oh, okay, yeah. So then of course, what DJ Ed Picker is saying there, so Keemstar had said the N-word in the past. Yeah, and he acts like he acts like he hasn't done that. That was another interesting thing about this conversation. It was so like they had this big issue in the Discord where like the mods in Keemstar's Discord were like, I guess, being grilled for allowing a particular big pay pig to just post a lot of racist memes and whatever. And Keemstar was grilling them, but they were like, well, like, we weren't really clear what the rules are. And Keemstar wants to act like he's above those sort of things. He wants to act like that. I mean, he's not. Keemstar has been around for a long, long time. A long time. He's from the Call of Duty gaming days. That's all you need to know that he used the N-word freely. The reason why I say it like that is because I remember those days. I played a lot of Call of Duty. Okay, now not on live stream. I played also. I remember the Halo 2 days when Halo 2 was the prime thing. I remember those Xbox Live days. I know what words I said during those time. Very bad word, of course. And like, so what I'm saying is, Keem used those words before. He's used those memes before. He knows. He's into this stuff. But the thing here that was interesting was that the mods were like, well, like, you weren't very clear. And Kim was like, well, they're not allowed to post things that would get Discord shut down, to violate the Discord rules. You can't post that sort of stuff. But it's like, well, yeah, but he's a pay pig, and you told us, at least another mod told us, that we have to treat the pay pigs differently. And of course they do. Just knowing that right there, you already understand why they would treat them differently when the pay pigs are like their source of money. That's their business. So they would get different treatment. Is it right? No. But in any sort of business, or if someone's doing something they shouldn't really be doing at the job, but they bring in the numbers, they're a really good worker, right? They perform, their performance is top, right? Sometimes management will look the other way. Sometimes even HR will look the other way. They'll make excuses for it. You've probably seen it if you have a full-time job, real job. You probably have seen it there. I used to work in an office like that, a call center. Back in those days, if you performed and you were making the company money, you were making money. And more importantly, if you're making the company money, and that's what they care about, then yeah, you do get differential treatment, extra breaks and all stuff. They'll turn their eye away if you were like doing things you probably weren't supposed to do, whatever. It's like you get that treatment. So yeah, like I said, this was a cool little. When I said little, it's like a 4-hour stream. I had to listen to it at 1.5 speed, really. And yeah, so while I'm sitting there, good on Grace for having that cool, chill conversation with Chillforce. He seems like a pretty chill dude. Yeah, I mean, I have to give her props on that. The wild thing though, towards the end with Ben coming in. Man, now maybe that was a calculated move on his part to make like a sense of like we'll misunderstood continue, which would be interesting. Oh, of course it's going to continue, but with Ben being like, I don't really want to do this, it's like, we don't really want to talk to locals like that and all this stuff, but it's like, but you have a good thing though. I understand Ben wants to do something more intellectual. Man, this is YouTube, dude. Who really cares about that stuff? Speaking of which, this guy, what of alt history? Wow. Wow, man. This guy is bananas. This guy went completely insane. It's a long video. It's 28 minutes long. Supposedly, he likes to flag things down. He wants this stuff erased, so I probably won't play it. I don't know. Ben is smart. Ben, well, yeah. Ben will make calculated moves. But Ben, smart. Yeah, I'll admit, he can make some smart plays. He can make some smart plays for sure. He is kind of a schemer. He does that a lot. But he also kind of like runs into like luck in a way that's so bizarre. Like if you look into their history of like when they had the restraining order, that era, that episode, or that season, if you will, of Ben and Grace was so fun to watch. It was so fun. Like maybe Ben is his master genius, because like it was so fun to watch that stuff, because it was like, okay, we know they're not supposed to be together. They know they're not supposed to be together. Of course, you have these hall monitors and Karens that will contact the police if they're ever together. and they will do that, and the police will get involved, and it was like, well, Ben got arrested, but how long will Ben be in jail this time? It was like, what's gonna happen? And that and I'm talking like it's I'm talking about this like it's a TV show, but in a way, you have those moments though, right? It's like, it's entertaining. I would say I said it before. It's like this is the reason why I like watching the Thorps. I think a lot of people like watching the Thorps is it is like the new reality show. It is unscripted. It is like they're just doing the stuff that they do. Might be some moves that Ben's doing with some calculation there to make things better, whatever, for content. I don't know though, because there's things happening in the background as well. Ben and Grace didn't respect the restraining order, right? No, they didn't respect the restraining order at all. So why would they adhere to that? They're going to get together again. That no, the police are going to get to them and they'll talk to them and all this stuff and go through that whole ordeal time and time again. And whether caught in the park again. This time Ben was hidden in an RV. Ben was hidden in an RV, and the police were looking for him. Oh man, I remember like the police were asking Grace, "Where's Ben at?" And she's like, "I don't know. He's not here. He's not here. He's not supposed to be here. There's a restraining order, They brought out the dogs. They're searching the woods and stuff, and then they're like, "That RV. We really got to look that in that RV." There. Oh man. That's why I don't want them to like lose this. This is good for them. They're making money. They have something here. Oh man. Oh, that was good times though. Good times. Oh man. That's so funny. So funny. So like was Ben calculating all of that for content? Was he like, you know what? Screw this. We're gonna farm this. I'll tell you what, Grace. Hide me in the RV. I'll stay in there. And then when they do find me, it'll just be content. I don't know. I don't know if he's thinking like that. I think, and some of it could just really just be by a product of what was the word I'm looking for? Like they're already going to do it anyway. It's like their behaviors that they have little respect for the authorities on that part. The restraining order, a little respect of that. So they're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to stay together. Grace is going to hide him, and I'm going to cover for him because she does that all the time. And it just creates this thing, this product that's like when people watch it, like me and you guys are like, "What is this? Is this real? Is this scripted? What's going on? What?" Because time and time again they'll do this, and maybe it is in a way. TJ Ed Picker. Maybe it is all calculated. The stream where Ben and Grace are going to the FBI headquarters, was that just like a calculated move on Ben's part? Just be like, you know what? We're going to go to the FBI headquarters. We're going to tire all these trolls. We're going to make that content. Because when that happened, it was like, whoa, what? What's happening here? That was fun. Oh, that was fun. People like to hit on them for no reason. Oh, well, there's reason. Are we talking about the Thorps? Was the restraining order lifted? I don't even know anymore. I think so. I haven't really followed up on that part. I think it was though at this point. If it's not, well, I don't think anyone cares. I don't even think the authorities care, but it's probably been lifted already. But Lolcow Keynes, he said people like to hit on them for no reason. Well, the reason is, okay, there's dimensions to this. So when the Thorps first came around, they're in Discord servers quite a bit. And there would be these long conversations with Ben and VC, Ben and Grace. And a lot of things were exposed. A lot of things happened there, transpired. And, of course, even on their live streams, a lot of things happened and transpired and stuff. Then it would put Grace in situations where she's, like, humiliating herself for content, like sniffing her underwear or whatever she was doing for Horror Max and all this stuff. It would have instances where Ben would talk about where I had to pull over and take the wife at the time out to the woods and hit her with a belt and stuff like that. So what that ended up doing is it did, like, the people who really detested that stuff, which I understand people would detest that, rightly so. You'd hear that stuff, you see that stuff, be like, that's appalling. Like, what? And the weird stuff that you would learn about them, about their relationship, be like, you did what now? You performed fellatio on a beer bottle? For what reason? What's going on here? The beer bottle was in your dad's lap? What? So there are people who do not like them, who flat out hate them because of the stuff that they've done to their own family, to, like, destroy it, essentially. And I understand that. I mean, I don't like them for that reason. But I'm also like, but it's content. And that's where, like, some of the people who were in that VC, in that stuff, involved in that stuff in the early days would disagree with me, be like, it's not content, man. It's a real life people. It's a real life family. And I'm like, yes, it is. It is. You're right. It is a real life family that has involved themselves in this stuff, that has invited YouTube, the chat, and all these people on Discord into their lives, and to not just be a fly on the wall and observe their weird dysfunction, but interact with them. I mean, they were all on board with it. Even the wife was at the time. Now, she has changed, and good for her. Good for her. Which is why I'm not saying her name and all that stuff, okay? She doesn't really want to be involved anymore. And at that point, you know, I think she made the right choice there. And I think they're trying to bring her back in. I hope that doesn't work. Ben and Grace want to bring in Maggie, who's the sister, Grace's sister, which, like, Ben is, let me just tell you, there are some allegations about Ben having done things with Grace. I believe them. I do believe them. So that's another reason why I don't like them. That's why a lot of people don't like them. But it's old drama, though, that I think, like, if they continue doing the misunderstood in this way, I think it would get so pushed back far, like it. And I hope Ben does not flip the script on this. I hope he doesn't change misunderstood. I hope he doesn't walk away from this, because if he continues to do this, it could actually, it has potential to make that distant past stuff so long ago that even if I or Shamu or someone were to bring it up, it's like, yeah, he did say that stuff, but it's been long ago. It's old news. But it's like, no, man, the stuff Ben will talk about is the same sort of stuff Mr. Girl will talk about. Ben even brought that stuff here. He brought up that stuff in this stream towards the end. And he used kind of language that was like, well, okay. Anyway. But yeah, that's what that's about there. What else? What else we talk about? Well, anything else in the chat that's kind of interesting? Ben does a little trolling. I don't know if it's trolling. like the past stuff, the early day stuff, dude, that stuff, it came off so off the cuff, like just casually, and you continuously say that stuff to where it's like, I don't think he's trolling. I think he believes it. I think he does believe it. Which could be perceived as a troll, I suppose. Like he's just living it. But he's not playing a character. Ben is who Ben is. Grace is who Grace is. I mean, they're not characters. They are who they are. Okay? They will present themselves in like a better light at times, but they will also, if you bring up certain topics, they will say the same things that they said before. So is that trolling? Is that being a troll for the sake of being a troll? At that point? Is it being a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian? Or is it just Ben is so different, some would say so dirty, that when he talks about the stuff, it shares his opinions on it, that like it's going to be warped. It's going to be messed up. He's a sicko. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely he is. So yeah, I mean, but can he be a sicko and also be a troll at the same time? Let's ask this question. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Let's do that right now. Okay. Now DJ Edgepecker is being a little troll too. Okay, come on now. Ben's a devout Catholic. He does a slander. Okay. When was the last time you'd been to mass? Okay. Look, I'm a Protestant. I don't have to go to church. I could pray to God wherever I want, and it counts. Okay. I don't have to talk to so many saints and all that stuff. If it's saints, what's a saint? Okay. I just talk to Jesus, talk to God. That's it. But it's like, it's stuff that Ben and Grace would have often embraced and talk about. Now, obviously, they're trying to move away from it and talk about other things, but it does get brought up at times, right? Like someone like me will bring it up for sure whenever there's a point there. I'll have to admit, I'll talk about the stuff that they do well. So there is that. So I'm kind of like in this interesting position where it's like the Ben Thorp haters, they don't all really like me because they're like, where's he at? Where does he stand with them? You know? And the Ben Thorp, I guess Glazers, lovers, I guess, are like, you know, where does he stand really? Where's he at? The haters keep bringing it up. Oh. That's because there's situations where they try to present themselves in a better light when it's like, okay, that's cute. That's not really what's happening. Okay. Like recently with that stuff we talked about with the Becky stuff, it's like, okay, guys. Yeah, what Becky did was messed up. Sure. Yeah. But don't forget, don't act like you haven't done all sorts of crazy stuff either. Okay. Some really detestable stuff. All right. But it's cute though. But people like they want to move away from it. Well, you know what? At this point, it's kind of like, let them move away from it. Let them move away from it. Because what's going to happen is, if my theory is correct here, is that it's only to take a matter of time before more stuff will come out. They'll do something again. Like if Ben really does want to have his way about leaving misunderstood, and he forces Grace to do that as well, like you're going to see things kind of transpire. Okay, if Maggie ever get enters the picture, you're going to see things transpire. Okay, I mean, and guys, the reason why I know you guys say it's all some of you guys are saying it's slander and all that stuff, but the reason why I believe those allegations, those accusations, is because there's family members that'll talk about that. All right, there's family members that'll talk about that and provide receipts, you know, and definitely talk about that for sure. So, no, it's not. It's not just slander. It's real. Like, Ben is a real sicko. Grace is involved in that. His past is the past he created. It affected his family, those around him. Let him walk away from it. Well, to let him walk away from it would be him and Grace, mostly Grace, continuing to do misunderstood, or, you know, lolcow rejects misunderstood, and interviewing people, creating live streams, continual live streams that the people like, people find entertaining. Continue to do that and not have moments where they're sitting in a hotel and Ben is like, oh, I'm thinking about bringing Maggie in. Let's do that. It's like, oh, really? That's interesting. You know, stuff like that. But I'm kind of curious what you guys think collectively. So this would be a time to do a little poll on this topic. To do a little poll. Now, I'm going to be careful with this, because Ben can both be a sicko and a troll at the same time. Is Ben a sicko? Yes, no. Ben's just misunderstood. Oh, but why? If Ben is misunderstood, why does he want to? Why does he want to give misunderstood to Chillforce? He should keep it. Oh, the Grace White Knight stuff. Oh, I'm not worried about that stuff anymore. Grace could do what she wants, really. Should Grace leave her dad? It's kind of a silly question. It's kind of pointless now. Should she leave her dad? Well, she's not going to leave her dad. If she were to leave her dad, it would probably cause great psychological torment for a brief moment. Actually, I don't really even care. I don't care. I don't care if Grace, at this point, I know I've said things in previous videos, previous streams, but things kind of change, you know, when you think about it. You know, having watched them for all this time, go through all their episodes and stuff, it's like, would it be better for her? Yeah, I do believe it would be better if she were to leave her dad, but I don't care if she does or not. If she stays with her dad, it's great content. Is that right? Well, some people will disagree with that, and some people will say, no, that's not right. Don't do that. Oh, I realized what just happened. The camera's following me. And let me go ahead and take that off the screen. I got this new camera. And when you do this, it becomes like the AI takes over. It starts following me, which is kind of cool. No matter where I go. Yeah, look at that. Salute. That's right. We got Alex Shill Jones in here, and that's right, we do. What about ZXV, Mr. Deadman? ZXV surprised me with a out of the blue troll that was very funny. I do have to give ZXV props for that. That was ZXV found my long lost brother. I asked my dad if I had a brother. He's like, no. I told him we need to talk. He hasn't responded. Go on Grace's show and let them interview me. I mean, yeah, I could do that. The only issue there would be timing. Generally, when she's live, I'm like on the clock, and I can't really sneak away for like. Then again, I work from home mostly. I go to the office a couple times. In the field a lot. So, yeah, we would just have the range of time if she's down for it. I don't know. I don't know why she would want to talk to me. It would be surprising if they talked to me. I would like to talk to Ben about fatherhood, though he might just see that as like a troll invite, and rightly so. But maybe. Yeah, I could do it. The other thing I wanted to talk about here briefly was this guy. Was it this guy right here? But it's just so out there, and it's going to take a lot of time. And I actually need to start recording reactions for the other channels soon. But this is insane. In short, what I'll say about this is this what if alt history guy is so bananas. Like, he could definitely go on Misunderstood. It would be an interesting interview for sure. Because this whole almost 30-minute thing is this guy, what if alt history, who presents himself as like some sort of intellectual on like history stuff or whatever, just went all schizo and started talking about how he talks to Odin, like the god Odin, and that Odin said that he's a god killer. Okay. A god killer. That's pretty big. That's pretty massive. How do you become a god killer after taking a bunch of kratom? Right? I don't know how that works. But that's what he said. I don't want to play it because he'll probably flag it down, all that stuff. But what I wanted to say is the first time I heard of him was those videos where he talks about history and stuff, and he presents himself as if he knows what he's talking about. And maybe he does. It seems like the sort of autist that would history autist that would know insane details about history that most people don't. But this whole thing destroys his credibility. It's like you just come off as completely insane and making weird, wild accusations about your own family, but what his mom did to him, like abuse, and what his mom made him do to his sister and stuff. Wild claims that I do not want to repeat here because it would, obviously violate YouTube TOS and be really unhinged. Yeah, I'll just wrap that one there. Anyway, guys, this was a very short, actually not short. We did an hour. Just a chill stream, man. Just chill. Every Sunday, I'll give you guys a little chill stream. We'll just chill, talk about stuff that's been happening, stuff that was talked about on this channel, get into that stuff. We talked a little bit about Alex S. Johnson a little bit there. That one I'll definitely handle. I've been handling differently than I would, the YouTube stuff. The YouTube stuff is like, there's a different rules of approach, of engagement. We talked a lot about the Thorps. I have yet to actually see for my own eyes the new Ethan Ralph Pill stream. This channel was essentially bankrolled by Ethan Ralph. I used to do nothing but cover Ethan Ralph all the time. Ethan Ralph. To the point to where my wife was like, do you need to call me Ethan Ralph? And I was like, well, maybe. Let that be something. Yeah, that's right. I printed out a picture of Ethan Ralph and put that on my wife's face. Okay. Now. All right, come on now. And yet I have yet to actually see it or hear it from my own. So I am curious about that, kind of behind on that. But in a little bit, I will be recording a lot of reactions for my reaction channel. I know it's mostly Japanese metal. Lately it's been singers, like opera singers and stuff. I don't know how I got into that. I will do you guys a favor. Do you guys have a band or a song you want me to react to on that channel? If so, drop it now and we'll check that out. Oh, I had him. Maybe because he's insignificant now. Ethan Ralph is, no matter how small the kill stream is now, he is essentially still like the core of the old sector. It still kind of orbits around him in a way. People still talk about him. Hog, who's a bomb. Hog and Ethan Ralph are having like this feud of who can make the most money on a daily basis, and it's not a whole lot of money. Really, the amount of money they're making, they can make more if they actually were employed without overtime, actually. And they would actually have other, benefits and stuff, and wouldn't have to worry about being kind of funny when it comes time for tax season because, the taxes were already taken out and all that. But have maybe health insurance, maybe. Might not be the best, but it's better than having none. But I think Cog being in the UK, he probably already has some sort of, piss poor UK socialized medicine, healthcare where he has to wait in line for a Band-Aid or something. I don't know. Any bands or songs you guys want me to react to over on the other channel? I'll be doing that in a little bit here. Last call on that. With the poll, we got 78% Ben is a sicko. I figured it would end that way. There's some that think Ben is not. I think they might be trolling. Isn't Ethan Ralph like 5'1" or something? Yes. Yes, he's 5'1". He's 5'1". Oh, hold on. Someone fact check me and be like, no, that's not even true. It doesn't even really matter what's true anymore. It's been like that for a while. Who would you rather be, Cog or Ralph? I'd rather be Ralph. I would rather be Ralph. I would rather be Ethan Ralph because he's done more things. He's more interesting because as bad as it is, I would be a more interesting character and have done all these weird, messed up things, have multiple baby mama drama, okay? People know that name. If you say Ethan Ralph, people know that. Cog is like, Cog what? DJ Egg Picker. Ben is fine. Like, sexually, I don't find him attractive. You think Ben is attractive? That's cool, bro. Kind of weird. React to Eric and some diamond in the rough. All right. Any other suggestions on that? Rob Zombie's a Dragula. I mean, that's what I used to listen to when I was in high school. But yeah, I could do that. He's a fine gentleman. I wouldn't bring he's a fine gentleman. Would you bring Ben around your family? I probably would not. Would you ever hit up Vegas slots with Mersh? Vegas slots, you're just losing money. What? If you're playing slots, you're just losing, man. What? People win on slots. I mean, they win and then they try to see if they can win more. And they end up losing their winnings. Nah, man, I'll be at the card table, man. We'll be playing blackjack. Where it also happens to be where, man, I'm winning. Oh, man, sometimes on blackjack, it's like no matter what you, like, you'll have some hands where it's like, there was no winning there. There's no winning if I stayed, or no winning if I called, or no called if I if I got another card. Yeah, there was no winning there. But that happens sometimes. That's the nature of gambling, though. I mean, you're not really going into that hoping to. Well, you really shouldn't be going in that hoping to make some serious money to live off of. It's just fun to do. Mersh has a system with slots. Yeah, but isn't Mersh poor? I don't think his system's working out for him. How's he doing? I haven't talked about Mersh and looked into his stuff in a while. Thought he had a stroke or something on stream. We're all getting old, man. Health problems will be popping up more and more. You're going to see it. I might have a heart attack one day on stream. Might happen. I get too excited watching Love Bites or Baby Metal or some other band. I kill over. All right, so we got Rob Zombie. We got Eric Insulin. I'll go ahead and get their stuff up here now. So I'll react to them first. They should pop up maybe this week on the other channel. You guys know about that channel. I'm pretty sure you do. It's a lot bigger than this channel. All right. Well, this was fun. You guys take it easy and try to have a good one.